Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, African Fight Fam, it's your boy JB back at it again with another episode of the African Fighters podcast. Today, hopefully, everything goes very well. With me is the usual face, none other than Toby Aderemi from Lagos, Nigeria. Toby, what's up?
Hey guys, what's happening? What's happening? Nice to be here again. Let's get this rolling.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. So, guys, you can tell that my picture quality is crap. That's because I have issues with my DSLR, and yeah, it would be fixed pretty soon. So yeah, Toby Aderemi, how is Lagos? Did anything fun happen recently?
The usual. It's just stressful as hell.
It's very hard to pull stories out of Toby. He never tells you anything, and our audience are very fascinated with Lagos stories. You're supposed to be telling us like, it's crazy. Today I went out and some tout in a molu in a bus standing somewhere was shouting at me or whatever. And then, yeah, stories like that. Stories that we captivate the minds of people and be like, what a jungle Lagos is. I think what we're supposed to do is
The
before we
audience are
start
going to
every
have to
show,
pay for this kind of content, man.
no, listen, yeah. What we're supposed to do every episode before
Lagos
we
story is
start,
not for
you
free.
would have to tell us one we have to ramble about one story from something crazy that happened in Lagos or something from your past, whatever. But anyways, sorry guys, I was a bit rambling. So a lot of knockouts happened this weekend. A lot of people were in the collecting end of knockouts, so my heart goes out to them and their families. But some other people came out on top with this knockouts. And with that being said, the two of the most memorable knockouts this weekend and would likely be so at the end of the year were from two Africans. And we don't get to say that all the time, but yes, Alhamdulillah, this weekend we got Sadibou from Senegal, aka Sweden, aka the Swedish Denzel Washington, had a wheel kick, a spinning wheel kick to the head, boom, head shot, knock out. From PFL 6 in the welterweight division, he qualified to the playoffs, and that is something that caught the internet on storm. It was on Sports Center, it was on everything. And just last night, our boy David Onama is part of our part of our African Fighters alumni. We've interviewed David Onama. He is one of us. So yeah, an emphatic knockout yesterday, and followed by an even better victory celebration inspired by your boy Easy. So before we get to Onama, let's not jump too far. Let's start with the Swedish Denzel Washington, Sadibou C or Sai, depending on where you are from. So PFL 6, Sadibou was going head to head versus I believe that's Shane Mitchell. And I'm just gonna let Toby take it away from here. So Toby, can you tell us what happened before and through to the knockout? What happened?
Uh,
Uh this would be a bad time to lose you. Yeah?
well, this was a really. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I here? Am I with you? Hello. All right,
I
all
can hear
right.
you, just talk.
Okay, so
Mm.
this fight was it was super interesting. I mean, so the way the fight started, yeah. I mean, everybody knows that Sadibou is an amazing kicker. He has like some real highlights type kicks in his locker, and so the strategy from his opponent basically was to lean forward and then lift his leg up. It was quite awkward, and even the commentators, when they saw that strategy, they were like, "What exactly is this guy doing?" So he will walk towards Sadibou and then he will lift his lead leg up and he would try and like fight from that stance, and it was crazy. I think in the beginning of the round, he caught Sadibou off a little bit, but there wasn't much to it. And once he just like figured him out, then he started setting up. I mean, we saw the wheel kick like two times, I think, in the first round. He kind of clipped him with the top of his foot, right? But the one for the knockout, oh my god, that was all the heel, and it caught everything flush. I was surprised to see that he still connected, because it was something that he had shown a couple of times in the fight. But I mean, that was one really, really amazing knockout, man. It was just like he was feeling himself after the knockout. You could see it was amazing to watch, man.
Yeah, he was walking like Denzel Washington, as his nickname is. But like, guys, if you listen to the KO, right, you would hear a slap. Like like he was like Shane was hit with talk through. Only Nigerians will understand what talk through is. Talk through is, the stick that the police in Nigeria used to hit people. It's called talk through because when they are interrogating you, they'll hit you, and be like, talk through, is it you that did it? So but so that kick, that whole kick sounded like a talk through to the head, bro. Bro,
Yeah, it was.
if you see the knockout from like phone footages or any camera footages from outside the cage without any commentary on it, you would hear it slap the dome of the head. Pow! So yeah, that was incredible. And then with the swagger, with the way Sadibou was like walking off, like it was something like um oh crap, what's the name of that heavyweight in the UFC that had like that battle with Brock Lesnar? Is this I think this Samoan heavyweight? Not Matthews. Yeesh, I forgot. But yeah, so sort of like that. There's also Samoa Joe in pro wrestling. He does that a lot. He does that as well. When people jump onto him, he just walks away. So that was like a smooth walk away by C or Sai, depending on where you are pronouncing this name from. But yeah, so something interesting is that what people don't know, I'm just going to pull the curtain back a bit, not really a curtain because it's public knowledge. So Sadibu is already a millionaire in the sense that he has won the prize money of $1 million from PFL from the last season in the welterweight division, right? He came back now again. Um, he went through round one. Actually, he started from round two. Then he won his round three fight, both by finishes, and now he's qualified to the playoffs. Good thing about the playoffs is that he's going to fight Carlos Leo. Carlos Leo was the same guy that he beat by an unanimous decision in the playoffs of last year on his way to $1 million. So yeah, so this is a familiar foe, but sometimes rematches does not favor the winner of the past fight. Do you think Sadibu is like gonna get another million in the bag for from the PFL again this season? What do you think, or does he have any significant threat? Oh my god, I just lost Toby, guys. Aish. So I'm gonna take this over until Toby gets back. So yeah, I was saying um Sadibu is gonna fight in the playoffs of PFL. That means so playoffs also means semi-final. So when he wins that, he's going to qualify to the finals and potentially fight for $1 million. And the same guy that he's going to fight in the playoffs was the same guy that he fought last season. Thanks, Toby. Toby, can you hear me? Seems like Toby's connection is crappy again. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, brother.
oh gosh. Toby, I was saying, do you
I'm
see
here. Can you hear
Sadibu
me?
winning the $1 million this season again?
Oh, please tell me you can hear me. Hello,
And
hello, hello, hello.
while Toby is there, I'm just gonna say, guys, if you are watching, I can see we've got a few people watching the live stream. Please, if you've got comments, questions, please fire them.
Okay.
We are
Can you hear
live
me?
and we can pick them up and discuss about them. Yeah, yeah, Toby, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So,
Oh God, there's a long delay on this thing. So Toby, can you hear me? Or should I just continue talking until you sort your internet out?
All right.
So yeah, I
Okay.
think.
So I honestly think that the Sadibou side that won, the $1 million the last time, is not the same fighter. I mean, he has improved so much. I mean, if you looked at the post-fight interview after the knockout, he's still trying to improve on different aspects of his game, and so if you're expecting the same fighter from the last time in the rematch, you're going to be disappointed. So I am very confident. Not willing to put money on it, but I'm confident that he's going to do it again.
Okay, I think I know what had happened here. I think I mistakenly shared our StreamYard link on my on my Instagram. So I've got people visiting the link, so I'm just gonna go delete that. So all right, oh my gosh, I lost Toby again. This is very unprofessional, Toby. We have people watching us. All right, I'm just going to jump on to the next episode, the next topic here. While Toby sorts his internet out. Uh, yeah. So David Onama. David Onama was in the fight of his life. I would say this is one of the biggest tests for him since he joined the UFC. And first thing you should think about is like Onama switched camps because of some legal shenanigans I believe that was going on in his old camp with the upper hierarchy of his former gym. He switched camps, and his approach to fights after the switch, this being his first fight in the UFC in 2023, he he came out of this um saying he's going to be calm, he's going to be calculated, which isn't something that we normally see from him. He always comes out with a fury. He always comes out swinging. Toby, are you with me this time?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh crap. Yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, so David Onama, I was talking about David Onama's fight
Hello,
against Gabriel Santos,
hello, hello, hello.
UFC Jacksonville on ABC. That's the second fight on the main card. Yeah, so Onama's Onama came calculated. The fighter he was fighting was more, you could tell when they go on the ground, you could tell that he appears to be the better grappler. He's from Brazil. That is quite understandable. But regardless, Onama was still wrestling. So he was wrestling, grappling, switching stance. Every time he gets taken down, he gets back up. He wasn't afraid to go to the ground. The first round was very close. A judge might give it to Onama, but the second round was where we saw Onama striking and kick. Yeah. So second round, we saw Onama striking. We saw Onama being more calm and calculated, as he mentioned that he was going to be. And this time he started finding his range. You could see him stepping into range. You could see him stepping in, stepping back, some jabs, and then the uppercut came from the middle. And one of the most fascinating things, or one of the most talked about things, was the post fight celebration, which he did the bow and arrow stick like easy against Pereira. And yeah, that trended. I hope Toby can hear me. If Toby, you can hear me, can you tell me what your opinion is about Onama's fight, please? Oh God, Toby, you did embarrass us on live broadcast, man. This isn't working. I think I'm just going to do this till the end of the show, okay? All right, guys, I'm just going to ramble since Toby isn't on a good internet connection, and I really would have loved to hear what Toby has to say about Onama, but yeah. So I'm just gonna say After Onama's celebrations, just like Easy, when all the blogs were carrying it, all the MMA blogs were carrying UFC itself, were saying, "Oh, this looks familiar." A lot of people in the comment section had opinions about, "Oh, stay original." So much negativity coming out from the comment section. I was so shocked. So my thing is, if you are a fan of football and you see a footballer scores a goal and does like the sue that Ronaldo does, right? Would you have a problem with that? Of course you wouldn't, because Ronaldo is one of the goats of football. It's okay to see young kids looking up to Ronaldo and what Ronaldo has done. Same as Easy. Easy has written his name in the books of MMA, and that's going to last forever. And Onama is striving to be like one of his African brothers, Easy. That's why he got inspired by Easy. He manifested and thought about, when I knock this guy out, I'm going to pull the bow and arrow just like Easy did on Pereira. Can you guys stop criticizing and stop with the negativity with David Onama? Now you know him. His social media I saw got a significant increase with numbers of followers. I saw Easy in his comment section as well. Isn't that positive? He got performance of the night. That dude or that kid is 100k richer than you are right now because of that performance last night. And I promise you would want to see him fight again. And with regards to Onama, it's just a matter of time before we see him among the top 15 contenders. He is an exciting fighter. None of his UFC fights have been a dull fight. He has literally won bonuses all for 4 UFC fights, including the losses. That's how incredible of a fighter he is. He is he has earned almost $500,000 from fighting in the UFC with his style. And the kid looks up to Easy. What's wrong with that? So yeah, shout out to Onama. We've had him here. I'm not trying to kiss ass because I'm African. We are the African fighters, and Easy and Onama are both Africans. Easy being Ugandan and Easy being Nigerian, and Onama being Ugandan. We spoke about Africa and Onama's influence with Uganda growing up and all that when he was just debuting in the UFC. So yeah, um, I've got Toby back. I'm not sure if Toby can hear me
Yeah,
this time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. So
Okay.
yeah, I was just talking about Onama, and I'm rounding up this Onama topic. Before I just round it up, just give me your opinion about Onama's performance. What do you think?
Beautiful performance. Love the performance. Love the celebration even more. I don't know who really owns that celebration because I feel like Easy did it, because Pereira used to do it, walking into the ring and all of that. I don't entirely know who to attribute that celebration to, but um, I mean, there's nothing wrong in being inspired by your heroes. So yeah, people that are dissing him online, it's kind of like far fetched. Like, let him have his moment, please, please.
Yeah. All right. I think I've rambled enough, and we've taken too much time on this topic. Moving on to the next topic, I think I'm gonna let you take this one. It is Francis Ngannou's opponent. Yet again, another speculation of who Francis Ngannou is going to face in his first fight after the UFC. So, I think at this point, I'm going to call you the Francis Ngannou reporter. So, our resident Francis Ngannou reporter, what news do we have about Francis Ngannou today?
Okay, so first of all, it's no news that Ngannou is trying to get himself into the world of boxing, but finding a proper opponent that can do the dance with him has been a problem. Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn has come out to say a lot of things about him not being, interested in a gimmick fight. I'm not sure anybody will look at fighting Francis Ngannou as a gimmick fight. I mean, he can knock out anybody. He's got the power. But anyways, away from Joshua and all of their problems with Fury, with Wilder and all of that, Derek Chisora, has called out Ngannou a couple of times. I think one on his Instagram live and a couple of different occasions. But there is rumor that the the Saudi Arabian guys who are like taking all the sports away from the rest of the world and putting a lot of money into it are planning a triple-headed showdown to have Francis Ngannou take on Chisora in his debut in boxing, and on the same night they want to have Anthony Joshua take on Deontay Wilder, and on the same night they want to have Fury take on Usyk to unify the heavyweight title. So it's going to be a really really packed house for boxing, and if they can make that happen this year, I think boxing has done a lot this year. I mean, we don't usually get them this active, but yes, Francis Ngannou might just be getting closer and closer to a deal with Derek Chisora.
Yeah. So again, there are rumors for a third fight for that night in December, basically the one that you're talking about in Saudi. And Ngannou versus Chisora, as you mentioned, Eddie Hearn, I think on his appearance on MMA Award, MMA Award did mention that. Uh, I think it's ridiculous, right? I feel like it's a waste of content to have these 6 guys fight in one card, right? I don't know if they are trying to be like this. This is going to be the greatest card. This is going to be the greatest card in the history of the
History of
boxing.
God.
This is going to be the greatest card in the history of the pay-per-view. We are going to buy the pay-per-view. Because it's ridiculous to have Usyk and Fury main event. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder co-main. Francis Ngannou and Derek Chisora second co-main. How does that make sense? They don't want to make money. They just want to spend money. And if actually they do pull this off, this is going to be. We definitely would watch it. But I still feel like for them to just land one of those fights, it's already a big deal. I don't see the difference in impact that a single fight with Fury, a single fight with Anthony Joshua, and a single fight with Ngannou, I don't see what difference that would make. But regardless, we are here. We would love to see Ngannou collect that Saudi money. Would love to see Ngannou take that boxing money. But I think I don't want to go into predictions, but I think Derek Chisora is too much of a veteran and too much of a boxer for Ngannou to look good. But I do hope Ngannou does look good, regardless. But yeah, that is something to look out for. And you being our resident reporter, next week when we are on the pod, I would please ask you to report about Francis Ngannou, where we are at the moment. Okay? Speaking about Francis Ngannou from Cameroon, us being the African fighters, it's very good for us to move from point A to point B in regards of Africa at large. And we're going to hop on the Sadiq Yusuf. So, Sadiq Yusuf road to UFC scholarship. On his Instagram page, so Sadiq Yusuf proposed that he is trying to organize a scholarship. I'm just going to read exactly what's on his Instagram. Okay. So Sadiq Yusuf did say, Monday, June 6th, he said, sorry, I'm going to start from here. This is Sadiq Yusuf. I was given a rare opportunity on my path to the UFC. I was able to fully commit to my dream of becoming a UFC fighter. I got to live in the fighter house as a white belt. I was provided a job inside the gym so I didn't have to worry about money and could focus 100% on my training and so much more. 6 years into my training, I was awarded a UFC contract by Dana White after winning the Contender Series fight. We are in the process of filming a new reality show tracking our team's journey to win another UFC belt. We had a reality show called Next World Champion, but it was focused on jiu-jitsu competitors, and this version will focus on MMA and Muay Thai fighters. There is no better way to get into the UFC than being to be able to totally focus on your training and all-round skill development. The winner of the scholarship will actually stay in the same house that I spent my first 8 years in, and you may be able to stay in my exact room. When I left the fighter house, it was because I was finally able to achieve my dream of buying my own house. It was surreal. I look forward to training with you. Applications will be open on Monday. That was last week, Monday. There are a lot of questions. If you look at the comment section, a lot of people are not really understanding what's up. But in the poster, it did say housing provided if outside of the DMV area. So I would say this does not reach out to our African brothers, okay? Our African brothers in Africa, because you would have to be in the US to be able to get to DMV, wouldn't you? Monthly stipend will be provided so you can train full time. Isn't that amazing? Unlimited training, housing provided. So all of it, basically, you will be living in the gym, you'll be employed in the gym, and then you'll be paid monthly stipend probably for feeding. It probably wouldn't be too much, but you'll be all right. So I believe this scholarship is going to be looking at, I don't know how many people he's gonna give the scholarship to, but he's looking for that talent that is actually dedicated, a very young person, I'm pretty sure, that really wants to make a breakthrough. What did you think about this publication? Were you left confused, or what questions do you have about it?
Okay, so first of all, I like to even like, the initiative in itself is amazing from him to like want to give back. It's not like he has, gotten to the pinnacle of his career yet, but just the will to give back to, the community and to like give another person an opportunity that he had. So that's amazing. But in terms of the nuances of, the scholarship, there's a lot left to be said about it. I think he should drop a link to where people can go and actually read about, what this is exactly about. Um, I don't know how long the scholarship is going to be open for, but I think it needs to clarify just the little details about, how this is going to work. But I think it's a great initiative from him, to do this for another fighter, basically.
Yeah, so I am on his page, and it appears that that post is collaborated with some other page called Leod Ivan MMA, and there is still no explanation on how the application will be done. It says application opening soon, and it did say Monday, June 26th. Okay, so it's tomorrow that the application will be
Tomorrow.
open. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. Not that it's gonna affect us directly, because because we cannot get anybody to go across to the US to train. But because a visa is something else. He knows about the visa situation, most especially for Nigerians, because it was quite made popular by the UFC broadcast that he's trying to bring his family from Nigeria to the US, and they did. When he finally got, I think, citizenship or something, was it? They kind of showed it on TV as well. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Super Sadiq for this initiative. He is one of the most charitable fighters in the UFC, because there is a lot of things that he does that isn't really loud, that he does specifically in Lagos that you are in, you Toby. He does a few, like, the food rounds. I think I believe he's got like siblings that have got places. I think one of his siblings has a restaurant or something down there. So yeah, he is actually giving back, and yeah, looking forward to whatever this is gonna end up being. So we are finally got into our last topic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us this long. If you've gotten this far, we are very sorry about the broadcast situation. I think I messed up with the broadcast, hence why Toby was getting interference from guests trying to get on the link. Yeah.
Mm.
So we are going to quickly talk about our boy, star boy Manel Cap from Angola and Portugal, and Kai Kara France from New Zealand. All right, so it was reported that Kai Kara France and Manuel Cap have been verbally agreed
Oof,
upon
what
for
a fight.
UFC 93, which is going to happen in Australia. I believe that's going to be the main event of Izzy Adesanya versus Dricus or Whitaker, depending on the outcome of that fight. So, Starboy Cap has been trying to get a fight, bro. He has gotten a fight, like he literally had a fight cancelled on fight day, and he got so annoyed he went online and did a rant. He got I think there was a verbal agreement with Davison
Been
Figueredo.
jinxed.
Yeah, Davison Figueredo, and that fell through. There was another fight, I believe, that fell through. I can't remember who that was. So this guy cannot catch a break. He really, really wants to fight. Manuel Cap is someone that I really, really want to speak to. I believe with he's not very well spoken in English, maybe, but with the little that he could speak, he really, really does very well to entertain us and the casuals as well. We the casuals. So yeah. First of all, what do you think about the fight? Also, him fighting Kai Kara France, who is currently losing two fights in a row. He lost a championship fight, and I guess that's Brandon Moreno, and his last fight, which was a main event that was made popular by Easy with the judging, which to be fair was a bit unfair to Kai Kara France. But yeah, regardless, what do you think about this matchup in specific for Manuel Cap Starboy? What do you think about that? Okay, we lost Toby. Uh, gosh, I am going to go on autopilot on this one right now. So yeah, with regards to Starboy Manuel Cap, he has been calling for a big fight for a long time. He, I believe, he had a fight with Pantoja early in his UFC career. That was a very close fight. The judges didn't do him favors on that fight. He knows it. I think that was one of those fights where he was more active towards the later round, and he has always been looking to get a high caliber fight in that division. He's one of the most exciting fighters in that division. Redo fight, we were really excited for Manuel Cap because this is actually the time where the world would have to see him, former Rising bantamweight champion, sorry, featherweight champion in Rising. Anyway, so yeah, this is this. I'm really super stoked for him. I've got Toby back. Toby, how do you feel for Manuel Cap with at least a verbal agreement at this time?
I hope the fight happened. Knock on wood.
Yeah, cause cause
Because
it's September, bro. It's
I
a long time from
mean,
now. Anything can happen.
anything can happen. But I mean, this is a really intriguing fight. If I'm being honest, Kai Kara France was, first of all, his easiest teammate. So, um, I think it's going to be dicey for I know Easy loves to support his African brothers, but I mean, this is somebody he trains with regularly. So, and Kai Kara France is also coming off a dodgy decision, in his last fight, and Manuel Cap with all this frustration about not being able to get a fight. So I think it's going to be really intense, if the fight does happen. So both fighters have really, they're going to put it on the line. They have things to prove. I believe and I think that Manuel Cap can pull something out of the bag, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a really difficult fight if it does happen.
Okay. Yeah. We're not going to go into the predictions of the fight or analyzing that fight. We would wait until it's actually official. But yeah, I believe that will be the coming out party for Manuel Cap, most especially if he does well. Personally, I think he would do well. I give him the edge over Kai Kara France. But yes, we'll have to wait for that. But yeah, I think that's it from us, ladies and gentlemen, from the African Fighters Podcast. Toby, the
Yep.
viewers deserve an apology from you.
Yes, I am so sorry. You want to hear about Lagos stories? Next week, I'll tell you about how our network doesn't
No,
work.
no, 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 no. It's not about Lagos stories. It's about you and your going off and coming back, just
It's
spoiling and killing the flow of the show.
it's not it's Lagos's fault and my fault for being in Lagos. But I'll work something out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for killing the vibe, but I'm sure my boy, my man, JB held it down. One or two.
Held waiting down.
He's the
I did a
rambling
very
king.
crappy
So
job.
just
I did not ramble anything. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ish, your boy JB. This has been solid. Again, we apologize for everything, and African fighters, bro. See you next week. We out.
Come on, Africans!